Welcome back to the Dex and Randi Show, the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. Stay tuned. You're coming up next. What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Dex and Randi Show. I'm your host, Dex. Welcome you guys back here, man. I'm excited to have you here for another episode of our podcast. This is episode 49. We're almost at our 50th episode. It happened real fast. We've been having a lot of fun going on this crazy journey of the ups and downs of life and sharing everything with you guys. But before we get into this episode, as always, right on point, I got my beautiful, amazing, gorgeous, perfect, well, close to perfect. You know what I'm saying? She is she one of a kind. You know what I mean? I don't know how I got her, but I'm glad that I kept her. You know what I'm saying? She my co-host, my wife, my friend, business partner, my ride or die. What's up, man?
That was so nice. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That was a nice intro. Hello, everyone. I am Randi, the co-host of the Dex and Randi Show.
Yo, if you just listen to our podcast, man, we just go through a lot of real things on our show, and it's all about the ups and downs of life. And there's so many ups, there's so many downs, and it can really wear you out. But we go through all of these things on our podcast. If you're just hearing it, make sure you subscribe to our podcast and become part of our community. But before we get into anything we want to talk about today, as always, we got our sponsorship, right, Ben?
Yes, the sponsor of this podcast is Basden Accounting LLC, Basden Accounting LLC, and they are the number one accounting, payroll, advisory, tax firm that can help you with all of your needs. And when I say all, I mean all. Not only does Basden Accounting do your accounting and make sure everything from the past is up to date. So, for example, right now we are in the month of November and the end of the year is right around the corner. So, do you know what your numbers are looking like for 2024? A lot of y'all don't, but now's the time to figure it out. So, when I say looking back at the past, we're going to look at the whole year and see what's going on and how we can help you. You have a little bit more than a month left to figure it out, okay? But we will be with you along the way. And then also, what would you like your future to look like with your business? What type of tax planning does your business need? Is it time for you to shift from a single member LLC to maybe an S corp, maybe issue some shares? Like what's going on with the business? What are your goals? Do you want to possibly build an app? What kind of money do you need for that? That's just one example, all right, of how we can help you. And when I say we, Dex and Randi own Basden Accounting. So I was trying to keep it separate, but it's hard to talk about it separately. But honestly, we have a heart to help you and help your business. And I think you would enjoy working with us, and we might enjoy working with you as well. So www.basdenaccounting.com. Thank you, Basden Accounting, for sponsoring this podcast.
Now, if y'all can't tell, the way Randi just dropped that whole 3-minute spiel about Basden Accounting, we genuinely care. You know what I'm saying? We care about each other. We care about our business. And we care about y'all as clients. So Basden Accounting is really where you need to reach out for your accounting and taxes, because we're really, really involved. And Randi just showed you that with the way she poured her heart out on that advertisement. You know what I'm saying?
I did.
And one thing you said, it is November, and you do got a month or so left to try to get your affairs in order. But the truth is, if you're not already working with Basden Accounting this year, it's a little late. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to be working with your accountant and your financial planner all year round, not just at tax time. You guys have got it backwards. You know what I'm saying? You're coming in at the end of the year looking for miracles, looking for amazing things to happen, and you ain't put the planning in. So if you're one of them people, make sure that on your list for 2025, one of the first things you're going to do is make sure you got your financial planner, your accountant, your tax person, your advisor. Have that lined up from the beginning of the year so they can help you all year round. And Basden Accounting is where you need to reach out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I just thought about something
What's
too. We talked about this earlier this week, but the beneficial ownership information.
Mm-hmm.
One of the benefits of being our client, even if you're not a business advisory client, but just being a tax client, is that if you owned a business, you received the email from us telling you that you needed to file beneficial ownership information report. And, I realized after sending that email that there were people who had no idea that this filing requirement was coming up. And if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't have been in compliance. So I feel good about that.
And if you ain't one of our clients, you might not even know what we talking about. You might not even be ready. But that's why you need to be in. But everybody that is a client of ours within the portfolio, you got the information. We rolled out a new service just for our clients this week. You know what I'm saying? We put in a new process around it, new pipeline with the software that we use, a lot of automation, a lot of interactive. You know, I love how we set it up because clients can opt in for us to provide the service. But even if they'd like, no, I don't want you to do it, I'll do it on my end. We don't just leave you hanging. Right. All types of information is coming out from us, and there's automated notifications. As soon as you say, no, I don't want to go forward, we still give you information. You know what I'm saying? So that's how much we care. Like, we want to minimize as much as possible you guys screwing it up or not understanding how important it is or making mistakes when you do it on your end. But you need to get us to do it. You know what I'm saying? We'll make sure we take care of it. But for our clients only, BOI report, and we put that in this week. So far, I think so far so good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I did have some pushback from one tax client.
Well, you got pushback from him all the time.
I know.
Every time.
Every time I get pushback from him, I think about letting him go.
Why we don't do? But he's not a recurring person or nothing like that. But
no, but
he always gives a hard time.
He always gives a hard time. But I just think about he definitely, like, I know he benefits from me. Like, I know I'm good at what I do. I know that during tax time, I know I'm helping his family. I know I'm helping his business. So I kind of look at the bigger picture. Like, for somebody to be a client, you don't have to love them. I know some of my clients don't love me. So
who don't love you?
Oh, it's a couple.
But you know what though? I feel like anybody that don't love you, and I'm just not just saying this because you're my wife and all that, but when it comes to like accounting and taxes and everything, if somebody doesn't really love you, in my opinion, that's that person that's trying to get over a little bit. Honest, like that's that person that don't want to really hear. Like, listen, these are the rules. I'm not gonna bend them for you. I'm not gonna break them for you. I'm gonna make sure you're aware of them. We're gonna plan to put you in the best spot, but the people that I think don't like you a whole lot are those people that's probably looking for a hookup that we don't do. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not in the hookup business.
Right.
That's why I love, like, our firm, Basden Accounting, anything we do, we're not in the hookup business.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when you're in the hookup business, there's an element of like dishonesty that's involved. You know what I'm saying? There's an element of like bending the rules and pushing to a level where it's like gray or even black. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that. But that's because of where we actually are, our experience, certifications. Like, we got a firm. We're not just some, bookkeeping company that's just going to do something for you real quick and give you, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
like, we put our name on the returns. Like, we're not.
But that's also the benefit
different.
Too, that I do sign your return.
Mm-hmm.
You can search me and find me on the IRS website. Like, they trust me.
You know, people probably don't even know that, to be honest.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And don't even question, like, yeah, this person said that they'd do my return for $200 or whatever, but they just do it and give it to me. They don't put their name on it or nothing.
Oh,
I don't think people think like that.
Yeah, I see those like incoming clients.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll see their return. I'm like, I thought you said somebody prepared your return. Oh, they did. Well, how come it says self-prepared at the bottom?
People don't even know you're paying somebody to prepare it, but they put your name all over it. They don't put their name on it at all. So when the IRS or whoever's looking into that janky information, all they know is you.
Oh, speaking
You
of
know
that,
what I mean? What's up?
I needed to talk to you about something too.
What's up?
It's an additional service that I'm thinking about rolling out for our clients. And I think that we'll end up absorbing the cost because it does cost. But this service it's like audit protection. So if they were to get audited, they don't have, like, they can just go to somebody, not me. Although I would do it, like I can do it, but it kind of takes the burden off of me to get the information and talk to IRS. They go to another professional for free because it's included in audit protection, but then they also get identity protection too. So there's like a couple of benefits to this plan.
Yeah.
Where the client could benefit. So I'm like, and we could benefit too.
All right.
So yeah.
More services rolled out.
More services that benefits the client though.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah. We'll talk about it. I have some paperwork around it, but I just wanted to bring it up because I haven't bought that to you yet and you reminded me of it. But
yeah. All right, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing with services that you roll out, you're doing something new, You know what I mean? For us, it's just to our clients. One of the things that I love is shares the growth between me and you. And we talked about this a little bit before, but like when you're a business owner, one of the hardest things to do is realize that you can't do everything on your own. You got to get help from people. You know what I'm saying? And on take it a step further, there might be people that could do it a little bit better than you, or even if it's the same level of quality as you could save yourself some time, you could save yourself some money, some headache, and that kind of thing. So one of the things that me and Randy's been on the journey of the last year or so is working with other companies, consultants, or whatever to make us better. You know what I'm saying? We learned a lot and we've become better because of that. But also taking our hand off of some things and being like, well, you know, I can actually rely on something that somebody else has created. Maybe I tweak it, whatever the case may be, but I don't have to do it all from scratch. All of us love to do that. Like we want to build it all from scratch. You know what I'm saying? But you can't always do that as a business owner. There's a lot of things already out there. So with this service, I hope you don't mind me saying, but like the process that we rolled out, it was already a template out there that we
Right.
used. We purchased it. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like we purchased a pipeline that we adjusted and molded to work for us. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't build it from scratch.
Hold
Now,
on.
what's up?
Backtrack. Explain what a pipeline is
All
for
right,
some of
so
us who
nice.
may
All
not
right,
know.
so a pipeline is essentially so like every business has steps in their process for you to go from advertising to acquiring clients to providing them to service to having them pay and complete it. So it's literally like your process flows. Like every step in your business for you to execute a sale, make money, and that kind of thing. So for us, pipelines are like what we utilize within our software to do the work that we want to do for tax clients, for accounting clients, for advisory clients. Each client, each service type has a pipeline. And it all starts with how do they get notified of the service? How do they sign up with us, whether it's a contract or not? How do they give us information about themselves, the business, what they need, what they're trying to do? How do we get a deposit? How does it go to somebody on my team for them to start working on the job? You know what I'm saying? How do they give me updates on the job as it's going along? If they're having issues, if they got to give me updates on where things stand. If it's ready to be reviewed, it goes to another step in the pipeline, which is the review process. It goes to client review. It goes to a payment piece. Like this is all part of the pipeline in the software, but I built it. So, for example, with accounting, I have to look at, well, how do we provide accounting to people? How do we make money? How do we give them the service? How do they work with us? And these become steps in a pipeline. They become steps in your process. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you work in construction, you might not have no software or you might not have any of these things that I'm talking about, but you have your own pipeline too. You have your own process. It just might not be written out and organized, but somebody wants you to do construction work for them or they want you to do painting. Well, how do they know that you provide painting services? Oh, okay. Now they know you provide painting services. How do they know how much they cost? How do they know how to get started with you? What do you do after the person says, hey, here's $500 for you to get started? Well, you got to go look at the house. You got to go measure out the walls and everything. You got to pick a paint color. Like these are all steps. You got to realize these are all steps in your business process for you to go from potential to actual, which is I have potentially have a client. Now I have a client, I gave them service, they're happy with it, and they paid. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a process. Every single thing in the world is a process. I'm sitting here, I'm gonna give a shout out real quick because I feel like we drink Dunkin' Donuts coffee the most. You know what I'm saying? But even this morning, when Randy went to Dunkin' Donuts to pick up this coffee for us, a whole pipeline got executed for them to give us this coffee. A whole process got executed. You walk in, you can look up and see what they serve. It's on the board. You can go to a computer, somebody can key in what you want, it brings up a price, and then you pay. Then somebody in the back knows that they got to go grab a cup, press this button on the machine, whatever the case may be. It's got to be at a certain temperature. Like all of this stuff is baked in. Like I'm rambling, everybody, it's my thing. But if you think about it, like before Dunkin' Donuts ever became a business that serves coffee to people, somebody had to build that. You see what I'm saying? Like somebody had to come up with these steps so that you could go to Dunkin' Donuts, whether it's in California, Maryland, DC, Virginia, Utah, wherever they got Dunkin' Donuts, the process flow for them to give you coffee is pretty much the same. For the most part, it's like the same set of steps for you to think about buying the coffee for you to get the coffee, get it, drink it, enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? There's a pipelines, there's a processes, and people that have really good businesses, they have really, really efficient processes. You know what I'm saying? And processes, they allow you to do the same thing over and over and get the same level of quality and efficiency. That's why you need processes. So that when you got one client, you do it a certain way. And if you got 500 clients, everybody gets the same experience, the same kind of thing. You know what I mean? Now, we use a program where all of our pipelines or processes are been created in the program. I created the one for accounting. I created the one for advisory. I created the one for taxes. This is what I do. So if y'all listening to this, to be honest with y'all, if you're sitting there in your business, and I've never said this, I've never actually said this out loud, but because I'm in rambling for 5 minutes, I'm gonna let y'all have this. If y'all was sitting in your business and you don't think you have what I am talking about, which is like a pipeline, standard procedures, standard processes to be efficient. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to make $10, are you taking 10 steps to get to that $10 or should you be taking 4 or 5? If you really want somebody that has the expertise to create something like that for you, you need to reach out to me. You need to reach out to me at Basden Accounting. This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, the other thing I'll say, I want to go back to this Dunkin' Donuts example, all right? As they created this process for them to give you coffee the same way and all of that, there's something that's being involved in every step of the process, and that's something called risk. Things that could go wrong, they have to consider that too. You see what I'm saying? What if the machine don't ring up the right amount? What do they do? What is the risk that they put too much cream, too much sugar? The machine that's supposed to put the same amount of quantity of things, what if that's not working? Like, what's the risk? What's the risk around people that's preparing this this coffee for me to be able to steal money as they open up the cash register? There's all different checks in place. You know what I'm saying? What's the risk for them? Even they're providing the coffee to you with a certain type of top and them giving you a carry if you got more than one drink. These are all process steps that's been put in place because they consider risk. And you might think it's something so simple, but if you bought 3 coffees, for the most part, they're not going to give you this 3 in your hand. They're going to try to put it in a carrier because they want to mitigate the risk of you burning yourself carrying all of these drinks. Like, it's not just because they like carriers. Somebody thought about the risk of, hey, well, if we got to give them more than one drink, there's a risk that they could drop it. There's a risk that they could fall on themselves. Whatever the case, we have to put something in place. There's risk in business. There's risk in every step that you take. And that has to be something that is considered when you build out your processes. So you want to make your business better? Before you think, oh, I just got to get more clients, I just got to get more money, I just got to go hustle some more. Nah, you be sitting there hustling to death and you still won't really be making no money because you got way too many steps in the process that's happening before you even get your money. And I know this from experience. We've been there before a little bit in our business. You got to trim the fat. You got to be efficient. And y'all need to reach out, not just for your taxes and income, but you need to reach out to Basden to put the business model in place for things to really work for you. Right, Bear?
Hey, that was amazing.
It's true, though.
I think we need another. You know how we have Basden Accounting, which
Yeah.
is also Basden Advisory.
Mm-hmm.
Well, soon to be possibly. I think we might need some Basden Risk
This is what I do.
because
This is what
the
I
way
do.
you just broke it down, I think that's a whole nother pipeline.
But it's true though. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? People don't think about things that way. But if you start looking at life, everything is a process. Everything you touch has some type of process in it, and you just have to understand it. You know what I mean? And if you don't work with people that do, and your business will go twice as far than if you thought that I just got to get 50 more clients, because what could happen is you'd be like, oh, let me go get 50 more clients, or let me go get 5 more clients. And that's the moment that you realize that your process is trash.
Burnt out.
Yeah,
like
that's when you
that.
realize it. Like, you don't, a lot of times you don't realize it. Like, you go out there, you start a business, you got 1 or 2 clients, you're making some money. You don't realize that the process that you got is trash. It's no
Say
good.
something
Yeah,
real
of
quick?
course. I'm been talking about 50 minutes. Please relieve
Let
me.
me get in. No, I like that when we're having advisory calls with clients. Oftentimes you go to that, you'll say, well, you could do it this way, but if you get 10 more customers, it's going to fail. So you should probably, spend the money now as the foundation
Mhm.
and get it right so that when you get those 10 customers or those 20 customers, you can sustain it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like even something as simple as I'm a touch to some people's heart with this, but when money gets involved, it gets a little tricky with everything. Money. You know what I'm saying? But think about it like this. Even if you're the one that always wants to bill the client, you want to make sure that the bill is right. You want to be on top of the client, make sure you get your money. You know what I'm saying? That only works for a certain period of time. Eventually, if you got 100 clients, you sitting there and invoicing 100 clients and making sure the bill's correct. That's amazing. But your time could be way better used than sitting there and making sure somebody gets billed correctly for services that's already been done. I'll tell you that that's a waste of your time because the money making has already happened. You provided the service. Now you're sending them the bill, but you are the source, like you like to say. You need to be going and get the next client. You need to be going and saying, well, what am I going to do with the fact that this money is going to be coming in from all these clients? What can we do next? How can we grow? How can we become better? You can't be sitting there in every invoice, in every single bill. It's cool when you got 5 clients, you could do that, but eventually your time and the value of your time, it has to be used in a better way. It has to be more valuable. Your use of time as an earner. We're just talking about business earners. We're not talking about workers, people that work in the business. We're talking about people that earn the business, that are responsible for its success, meeting its objectives and things like that. You have a responsibility to be a business earner. And a lot of people that are business earners are still got like a worker mindset. So the business don't go where it's supposed to be because even though you technically earn it, in your mind, you still work like a worker.
Yeah.
So your business don't pop like that.
Well, I think our business has changed since we invested in the software
Mm-hmm.
and you've built the pipeline. Because even with the pipeline we just implemented, I said, well, we had to invest because we bought it from somebody. Somebody else built it and we bought it from them.
Right.
And I said, well, to pay for this pipeline, all we need is one person to sign up.
That's it.
One person to opt in. And we had multiple. So it's like it pays for itself, but you can't be scared to invest money because you do want a return on your investment. I do want to help my clients, but I also would like to make money helping them as well. So, and it makes the process easy for them. You don't need to call me, ask me anything. Like we don't even have to talk like that.
Hey, and the thing, back to my point about, you know, trusting in others and working with good people is like, I could have built that pipeline if I really thought about it and took the time, because that's what I do. But even me being an expert in that, in this instance, I didn't do it because it was something that was out there that was already good. So I humbled myself and I'm like, well, let's go get this.
Yeah, I found it.
You
By
did.
the way,
I didn't
I
find
found
it.
it,
Randy
yep.
found it. You know what I'm saying? Randy's always finding the good, and I just, you know, I just benefit off it.
Nah, but it shows your growth.
Right.
Because before you've been like,
I could build it. I could build it. So why would I pay somebody else? But
because time.
Right. Excuse me. The value of my time. You know what I'm saying? And even though I can build it, even though you can do something, should you do it in that moment? Maybe not. Maybe it's gonna slow things down. You know what I'm saying? Right now, that service, if I was building it, it wouldn't be live right now.
It went live in one day.
It wouldn't be live right now.
Right.
I would be working through it, making sure I got, you know what I'm saying? Like all the helpful information that we gave to clients out about the reporting or whatever, I would have been aggregating that, reading through it, make sure you good with it, like all of that type of stuff. But it was there. We both read through it, tested, and I'm like, nah, this is good. Made a couple changes, right? Because usually when something's pre-created, just like us, if you really have clients that you care about and you specialize your services like we do, you're going to have to do some customization to it, right? Some personal messages to it. You know, you make it your own, but I mean, we did that fast.
Yeah.
We did that real fast. You know what I'm saying? So that was good. Another thing about business, let me circle with this. I'm going to let Randy chime in with this real quick. But we had a new potential client, you know what I'm saying? And we had a really, really good discussion with him. And I don't think we're going to get him. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say for like the first time, I don't really feel that bad about it. I want to thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that we've been able to do, we're not perfect yet, but a lot of people say it, but they're not able to do it, is like, it has to be a good fit both ways. And I love the fact that the clients that we have now are clients because we want to work with them You know what I'm saying? And we like what they're doing and we support where they're at and where they're going. And they're not just clients because they could afford to pay us money. You know what I'm saying? I think that's dope. But how did you feel? Like, we went through a long consultation. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to get that client. You feel away?
Are you talking about the
The one that's
ladies?
not coming. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
The one
yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
yeah,
coming.
yeah. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I think that they're making a mistake.
Of course.
And the reason I said that, and the reason I say this is because they have the mindset of, oh, I can do it myself. I can do it myself. I have an accounting background, you know. But with the new rollout of the BOI reporting, I conversed with these clients.
Mm-hmm.
And just based on the conversation, I identified, oh, you did it wrong. You know, and I told her, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, you were supposed to do this and this. And it's like, oh, so yeah, it's hard because I do like the clients. I do like them as people. Like, we connect well. But from a business perspective, I don't think that they're ready for us.
And that's all right.
And that's okay because they may not be ready now.
Yeah.
But I do see how we could help them. I think we could actually help them make more money. But the mindset is just not there yet. And that's going to take some time.
That's true.
Yeah.
But until that mindset's there, it's a good thing probably for us that we don't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing with advisory, and this is the thing that really drives our business, is like advisory, but there's trust that's involved. And I think we've learned the importance of trust in business and trust with clients, which is, hey, if I go to somebody and I want them to do my accounting, yes, I trust them, but I'm giving them information that's already happened, they're giving me a service. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different level of trust when you're trusting people to give you advice for decisions you're gonna make. You know what I'm saying? Things that could impact your future. Like, there's so much trust there. So like, I love that. You know, we had a meeting with one of our clients earlier this week, and he always be making me laugh and all that. But one of the things, we got on the call with him, and he was just like, look, we ain't gotta be professional, super professional today. You know what I'm saying? We could just keep it real. He calls from the car. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, do we got to do, is this official meeting, or can I do it while I'm commuting? And we like, nah, you could be commuting. We just need to ask you a couple questions. Like, that shows the trust in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes if you got that client where you always got to show up suit and tie, you always got to have an agenda prepared or whatever, like, some of that can sometimes be noise. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times with real people in real life, you just need to get on the phone, have a quick conversation, and help them with a decision that they're going to make that day. You ain't got the time to make a presentation. Like, that's not for everything.
Right.
Sometimes, yeah, and a lot of people that were met, to be honest, they'll pay extra to those people that always want to have a long presentation pulled together, and it could be perceived like it's amazing. But underneath it, it don't even be sometimes a lot of real advice. Be a bunch of charts, bunch of diagrams that literally you print out, and when you have to go talk to so-and-so the next day, you can't make a decision off of that.
Right.
It's like the connection to real life is missing. But I think that that's what we do real well, is that we can jump between the bag of like, all right, let me present these slides for you. Let's have this formal meeting, go through these different targets or whatever. Or you could also just pick up the phone and be like, yo, I'm bringing on somebody new. How should I pay him?
Right.
That's the real life advisory. That's the type of advisory where you'll never find yourself saying, oh, you know, my accountant does XYZ for me, but I don't got no clue what it is. We try to educate our clients to a certain level, as much as they want to know, but we educate them, we empower them. They can get access to things, they can get apps, they can communicate with us, they can see stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're not just hiding behind this presentation feel for everything. Right. You know what I mean? It's a lot of realness with it, which is dope. But anyway, so yeah, we may not get that client, but it's all good. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, what's meant for us will be for us. And, you know, I actually feel good saying no sometimes, you know what I mean? Because I don't need the headache and quote unquote, we don't need the money just because, you know what I mean? We want to be able to give you true value and enjoy giving you service. And we do that now. So it's dope. You know what I mean? But we didn't talk a lot about business. You know what I mean? We got to transition real quick. We've been on this business thing. You be serious about our business, as you can see, but we also serious about life, our family, our finances, friendship, everything in life that contributes to this ups and downs and this tough moments and us needing each other to really get through it. Like life will put you through a lot. The next thing that I'm on my mind is that whole thing of like when you've been through something, you're scarred, and now there's a little glimmer of hope, and you don't want to have that hope because you've been burnt. Everybody's been through it, like, and that human aspect is like, oh man, like I gotta protect myself. I gotta protect myself. You know, you don't want to be disappointed. You don't want to be hurt. You know what I mean? So you put a big shield on, and nobody can penetrate. You know, you kind of lose that hope for things because you've been burnt. Kind of been feeling like that lately, a little bit. I'll be honest. Not because I'm been burnt, but because I'm been through a tough time these last couple years with my mama. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about that, and mental illness and depression. We talked about that in other episodes. We ain't gonna get any details with that. But my mama's coming home soon. Randy's been the daily conversation. Her and my mama's talking every day, and Randy's been getting the updates on how things are going. And before I get into my mama coming home and how that's making me feel, I want to get your thoughts, Randy. Like, what has it been like with you in this experience with my mama overall? But lately, these calls you've been having, you've been getting encouraged, trying to tell me about it. I'm not always receptive. You know what I'm saying? But what's it been like for you? And are you excited my mama's coming home? And like, what are you hoping for? You know what I mean? What you been dealing with lately with that
Mm,
situation?
well, it's definitely been a few years of ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say right now that I'm very like level. I'm not super excited. I'm not excited,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just like I'm more observing because like when I look at it, I'm thinking like, did God give us a miracle? Because you guys, you have to understand the path that we were on. It was very like unpredictable. And you have somebody who's been in and out of mental institutions, don't want to be here. And it's like Dexter and I were put in a position where we're trying to figure out a plan for this person. And if you've ever dealt with somebody with mental illness, it's hard because it is unpredictable and you don't know what the next day brings. So we're trying to figure out, okay, she can't work. What are we going to do? Where can she live? We tried this. We tried her living with us, tried her living with friends, tried her living with her father. Like, so it's been challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And we were on a path like maybe the best thing for her is to be in like assisted living where even if she doesn't want to be here, she can get the help. We can make sure that she's eating, she's taking her medicine, like, because we can't do it, you know. And I'd spent a lot of time in prayer. I had my women's group with the church praying. Her friends were praying. Like, we've been praying for a long time, honestly. So with what's happening now, let me fast forward. It's like one day she was sad, didn't want to be here, thought she lost everything. And then she was transferred to a different facility. And when I talked to her on the phone, she says, and this is just for a more intense treatment. When I talked to her on the phone when she first got there, she was like, this place is like jail. That's what she said. In my heart, I'm just like, dang. Like
Yeah.
I'm sorry because the one she was at previously was pretty nice. Like to me, it reminded me of like a college campus. Like it's new though. It's only 4 years old, so everything is new. But anyway, so she's like, it's like jail, and my heart was hurting. I'm like, Lord, man, it's hard to hear somebody talk about their surroundings the way she does. But she started her treatment and her therapy. And it's like one day I noticed a shift in her perspective. I can't even remember what it is that she said. And I was like, she had something kind of positive to say today. And then I told her, I was like, oh, yeah, yeah. I was like, make sure you call me every day because I'll be calling the place and they don't be giving you messages that I called so you can call me back.
Yeah, that was crazy too.
Yeah,
They
I'm
wouldn't.
like,
Yeah,
she
for
been
a
there for a
minute,
whole week.
she weren't
I ain't
calling.
heard
Yeah.
nothing. So she's like, nobody gave me any messages. And I'm like, I don't like that place either. When she said it's like jail, I'm like, it really is like jail. So I had her start calling me every day just to make sure she was straight. Cause I didn't want to, you know how you see these things on TV where, you know, they really hurting the patients and making them undergo stuff. Like, I don't know what's going on. You said the place is like jail. Let me just hear your voice every day so I know it's straight. Okay. So anyway, I'm noticing like every day she's starting to get a little better. Like she's saying things and she's talking about the future. So before she would talk about the past, I can't believe this happened to me. I can't believe I did this. I lost it all, blah, 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 blah. But then she would say stuff like, you know, I wonder what my future could look like. And I'm like, because before it was, I'm scared of the future. And I'm like, huh. Or she might say something like, I'm not that old. Like I can date. Like just little stuff like that. And I'm sitting here like, okay, she's starting to change a little bit. So anyway, it's been encouraging because it's grown now. It's gotten to a point where she has a plan.
Yeah.
And we've kind of created together, but I've given her insight. And I mean, it's little stuff like this, guys, but this is small. What kind of hangers do you want in your closet? In the past, I don't even have anywhere to wear my clothes to.
I know, that's it. Throw them away.
I don't have anywhere to wear these clothes.
Yeah.
I don't have a job, blah, blah, blah. Then she says, well, I do like black hangers. I like black velvet hangers. I said, okay. And I said, well, is that something that you had before? She's like, yeah. I said, well, just think about what you would want, you know, in this, as you enter this new life. And then we talk again the next day. She's like, you know what? I think pink hangers would look nice in the closet. Fuchsia pink hangers. I'm like, okay. So even like the other day, she was like, I was at the boys' school and I met this woman named Dorothea and she was talking to me and I'm wondering if you can find her because I think that I might have some free time and I can volunteer at the school. So she's kind of like making those plans for, because her thing is now like, I'm not scared of the future, but what am I going to do with this free time?
Right.
So for me to see this, like I'm not asking her these questions, like she's kind of probing and coming up with it on her own. So I'm like, oh wow, I see the change in you. So, and then the other thing is that we're getting work done on our house. So we always have something to talk about with the house. And I'm not trying to get her excited, but I think that she's gotten excited when I'm like, oh, we replaced this light fixture. We painted here. We redid the shed. We power washed the whole house. We had this, you know, we had the roof repaired, like the stuff that we're getting done on the house. Like she's kind of partaking in that process as I'm telling her all the stuff. So I think that gets her mind off of things too. So I see an improvement. I've talked to her. I've talked to her nurse, doctor, psychiatrist, and they're all saying the same thing. So I just talked to the psychiatrist yesterday and she's like, yeah, she was like 2 weeks ago, like your mother, like she wasn't responsive. Like she was almost comatose. Like she wasn't really speaking. And she's like, now she's pretty much ready to go home. So I'm like, wow.
I know.
And I'm like, Lord, is this a miracle? Is this a miracle? I'm a no. Like I feel like I'm experiencing it, but I'm also human.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get too excited, but I don't want to discredit anything as well. So I'm just to answer your question, I'm very level. I'm observing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do from a administrative point, like making sure the bills are paid, her house is in order, all of that stuff. And when she gets here, I'm gonna make sure she's straight that way. But I'm not like I'm relying on the doctors and she has to be the one to do the work. But I'll walk beside her, you know, as she does the work. And it's nothing that she can really do to like even disappoint me. You know, because I already know like mental illness is going to be full of ups and downs.
But do you still have hope though?
I've always
even though you're even, like, are you still hopeful that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know she can do it. I know she can get out here in this world and see all that she has. Because I think people would die for what she has.
Yeah,
like people really, yeah. When from my perspective,
would do that.
To have, you know, a loving family. So sometimes love is all you need. Because
I wouldn't even say sometimes.
Yeah,
it's literally all the time.
It's all you need.
You know what I mean? You might think you need more than that. You might see things in the world and desire more than that. But like at the end of the day, most, if not all of us, when we walk around every day and we know that there's somebody out there that truly loves us and we care about them, it's like you have the basis of being a human covered. You know, like we're not built to go out there and not have love in our lives. Like we're not.
Yeah.
And those are the times where it's like the hardest to go forward. It's like being brokenhearted, losing love, not having love. Like love in itself is like the driver to like so much good and bad in the world. Like it's like you have it or you lose it and things like that. You know what I mean? One thing I did notice though, and we got a lot to think about based on what you said, but like I want to be even, but I noticed that, and people might be able to relate to this, but like when you love somebody so much and you feel like you're trying your hardest and it hasn't turned out to be anything, you turn that switch on and you just say, well, let me come to peace with the fact that it's always going to be bad. And that's kind of what I've did. Doesn't mean I don't have any hope, but I realized like you would tell me like, hey, you want to talk to your mama, or hey, you want to hear, I think she's getting better. And I was resistant to that because I don't want to get excited. I don't want to have hope. I don't want to that's letting me know I'm not like okay with everything. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't want to even go down that route and it not be anything. So it's almost like I'd rather just wash it away to be like things is messed up and it is what it is. And I noticed that I'm doing that. I'm trying to change, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's what that whole situation has done to me is that's how I've gone forward to be like, it's going to be bad. But that's not the right way to do it. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I will say this though. God has done a good work in me because my faith
Mm-hmm.
it's just been elevated, and I want to encourage you to have more faith. Like it might look one way on earth with our limited vision, but God knows. He knows
Mm-hmm.
the beginning from the end, and he knows that, that you're going to go through this, but like this is the time where you can trust him and put your faith in him.
You know, we gonna keep it real today. I'm gonna keep it real today. You know, with everything that's happened with my mama, as much as it's hurt me, a lot of it has made me angry. Like sometimes when you go through a lot of pain, it can hurt you real bad. It could be a lot of pain on the inside, but there's also elements to it of like anger that you gotta deal with also. You know what I'm saying? And for me, what I realized lately, going through my own counseling and stuff like that, is a lot of the ways my mama be talking and feeling about herself and thinking that, life's over and the best days are behind and she can't do this and she can't do this on her own and all this type of stuff. To me, it's almost like, and it's not about me, but it's almost like kind of like disrespect to my own journey with my mama. Because I remember and I know my mama is everything that she's afraid to be. She's already been that. Like the devil will lie to you. The devil will literally see you for 18 years or 10 years be great at something, knock you down on your butt or whatever, and then all of a sudden you don't even think you could do the things that you've always been great at. I'm seeing my mama take care of a house by herself. I'm seeing my mama take care of me by myself. I'm seeing my mama hold a job, working till late, come home, do my homework with me, then get up the next morning and go up to the school and talk to people who's not treating me the right way, then go to work, then come get me from my granny's afterwards, then deal with a divorce with my daddy. Like I'm seeing my mama be a super mama. I'm seeing my mama not need no dude. I'm seeing my mama walk out in the street looking amazing with like 300 pairs of shoes in her bedroom in different pink containers. I'm seeing my mama be on the top of everything and not even need no man. So like when I sit here and I'm like hearing you say that like I can't go forward because of a man and like to me it made me mad because it's almost like it's such a big part of my memory that is like you don't remember it or somehow it's gone. And that'll just make me mad. But I can't make you see it and I can't make you feel it. And that's been frustrating too. I can remind you of certain moments, but when you've been like, that's why depression is such a real thing. But like, you might have so many things to live for, but you might not even feel it. Like that's what depression does. Like, so people like us, if we're in a better mental state or whatever, we can see it. But it's almost like you got these goggles on and you can only see the pain, and that's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to realize, like, you gotta be, whether you believe in Jesus, God, whatever the case may be, like, trust me, when bad things happen in your life, they literally can live forever until you don't give them life anymore because they're going to show up every day right in front of your face. I feel like that's what the devil does. He takes your demon and he puts it on a big poster board and he puts it right in front of your face every minute of the day. So you can't even see behind that is so many things that love you, so many people that love you, so many opportunities that you still have. All you can see is the pain part. It's like a builder that you can't move. You know what I'm saying? But when you move the builder, it's so much light behind it, but you don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Corey, I'm going random here, but like Jesus was in the tomb and he got crucified. I'm pretty sure it was mad dark in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure until you rolled that rock away, there's no light coming into that room at all. You're in the darkness, but it doesn't mean that it's not tons of light around you. You just can't see it. You got to find a way to move that build out of your life. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what's happened with my mom. It's been like this huge builder that's just been blocking everything. And when we tried to move it, it's too heavy. You know what I'm saying? It's not going anywhere. And we tried everything. We tried to lift it. We tried to get other people lifted, go into different facilities, see if they can lift it. It's just not been moving. So I come to the piece of, man, I just can't move this thing. Let's just keep moving. But what if it does move? You know what I'm saying? That's good if it does move. And she does have a lot of light around her. I want y'all to listen, man. If y'all don't pray, pray for my mama. You know what I mean? If you're not a religious person, just have a good thought about my mama. Like, if you know somebody that's been through situations where whether it's mental illness or depression, or they're sitting there and they feel like life's not worth living anymore. They lost a child, they lost a spouse, you know what I mean? They lost a career. Maybe they've got physical ailments where they used to be really, really athletic and they used to run all the time. Now all of a sudden they went down the road on a Friday night after eating their Fridays, got in an accident, and now their legs don't work no more. It's so many things that could happen in life that like strips away the version of you that you used to be. You see what I'm saying? How do you move on from that? I'm gonna give y'all a little example. This guy, he inspired me, and I didn't even know this dude, but he inspired me years ago. I went to a coaching course for soccer. I'm a soccer coach or whatever. You know, here it is. I'm complaining to myself driving. It was like an hour and a half drive way up to this place in Maryland. It was cold in the morning, but I had to do this training for my license or whatever. So I was irritated. You know what I mean? I really didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. So here it is. I'm there. You know, obviously I'm physically fine, mentally fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm just regretting having to make this long drive to go to training early in the morning, right? And I get to the training, and I kid you not, then I get to the training, and this guy hops out of his van, and he ain't got no legs. He had two metal legs, and he was the instructor for the training, soccer instructor. The guy didn't have no legs, then walking around on two bionic legs with a clipboard and the biggest smile in the world. I kid you not, on my kids. And I walk up to him. I'm trying not to stare, but you know, I probably was staring. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I walk up, and all the coaches gather around this guy, and he just starts going through the lesson and talking about how excited he was to have us there, and you know how we have the opportunity to coach kids and have an impact on their lives, and he just started talking about all this stuff. And it's like, here's what we're going to be doing today. He just started leading out the training plans for the day. And I was just amazed. I went and talked to him afterwards, and I was like, what made you still do soccer? I don't even know if I told you this part, but I was like, what made you still do soccer? And he told me how he got in this car accident or whatever the case may be. And, you know, he lost the feeling in his lower half and stuff like that. And you would think he was gonna give this long speech or whatever, but I was like, bro, why do you still do this? And he was like, I love soccer, so I still love it even though I can't do it anymore. Simple and plain. But he may not be able to do it the way he used to do it, but you're not gonna let these things in life take the love away from you. If you love sports, you love sports on the inside. You may not always be able to do it the same way physically on the outside, but don't let that take the love away. You know what I'm saying? And he may not even know, but he was way more impactful to me because now all of a sudden I wanted to learn and I wanted to do my lesson. And I'm the one there that's got the healthy legs, kicking the ball around. But I was complaining the whole way up to myself, and he's probably on his way excited. It's just a mentality thing. You know what I'm saying? So you are gonna lose certain things in your life naturally, not naturally, accidents, emergencies, whatever the case may be, but your soul and what you love and what drives you in life, you can't let things take that from you. Because that's what the Lord gives you. He gives you that love. He gives you a spirit that's always supposed to thrive and feed off of Him, even when your body and different things like that fail. You know what I'm saying? So I hope my mama will see through all of this that there's some bad things that's happened, but she's still a beautiful person. A beautiful person. I love my mama. You know what I'm saying? And she's a great cook. She's funny. She's got a beautiful smile. She's a great grandmother. You know what I'm saying? She knows how to do, she could sing. You know what I'm saying? And she could dance a little bit. You know what I mean? And she could do a lot. Like she can light up a room because I'm seeing her do that. And it don't matter if somebody else might look at you and not see you that way anymore. It's okay. God always see you the same way. You know what I mean? As you go through this journey in life, you know, not everybody's gonna get the best version of you. You know what I mean? Keep it real with you. Like when it's all said and done, somebody's gonna come to your funeral. Like you talked about your clients, and some love you, some don't. But some people's gonna be raving about you because the experience that they had with you is amazing. And some people's experience weren't as good. Maybe they caught you at a bad moment when you was growing up, or you just got out of a relationship. So that dude that tried to take you on a date, you carried him because you was heartbroken from your relationship. Maybe he thinks you're the worst woman in the world. It doesn't really matter because who are you really? You know what I'm saying? And you have to be true to yourself and know who you are and love yourself through the journey, the ups and downs of life. And when you're done, sometimes you're not the best version for people to be around. People that love you will stick through that. And that circle's real small. You know what I'm saying? Another thing I want to say though, as we kind of wrap this up with the thing of my mama, stop laughing at me, girl.
You've been rapping.
I'm in rapping today. Hey, y'all see I'm feeling better. Hello. I'm feeling better. I'm legal again. I can fly. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. But listen, you're going to like how I clears this out. So give me a second. You know what I mean? But for all of y'all that are proud to be strong, independent men, women, don't need nobody. First of all, we didn't even get to the poor topic today. We have to save that to next week. I had some other stuff written down, but I didn't get to it. The Lord took over. But for y'all that thrive on not needing nobody, I'm not knocking y'all, but I'm just going to let you know that I ain't that type of person. And as we talk through with my mama, and not telling my mama's business or whatever, we just being real about the ups and downs of life. And one of them is my mother that has mental illness and how that's impacted our family for about 4 years. And we're going to share that with you. Maybe it would help you if you have a family member or friend that's going through it. That's why we share it. You know what I'm saying? But my point with being alone in life, I'm not like that because check this out. I'm a father. I got 4 kids. I'm married. I got multiple businesses. I got a full-time job. I do soccer coaching. I earn a home. I live in America. I don't live in the country that I was born in, raised up in with 95% of my family there. I don't have a whole lot of friends out here. A lot of times I'm on my own with like 10,000 things on my shoulders. And then out of nowhere, life will give you something and put it even more on your shoulders, which is the fact that my mother for years has looked at me right in the face and been like, I don't want to be here no more. I don't want to live anymore. I wish I wasn't here. This is somebody I love telling me that to my face. And I got little kids there as well. And I have to try to digest this and not take it personal. And while that's happening, my mother's going through a divorce. While that's happening, I have to step in and help her make decisions. I have to step in and help mediate the divorce. We got to step in and deal with her finances, deal with her insurances, deal with her home, deal with her being in mental hospitals and having those be paid for because ain't nothing free in life. You know what I'm saying? Like having to be there to visit her, to be able to talk to her sometimes, to be able to not talk to her when you can't handle it, to all of this stuff. I got my wife, yo. I didn't get to do it on my end. The reason why I was sitting here, my mama's house is getting fixed up or whatever, is because I'm not living my life like I don't need nobody. Because truthfully, Randy, I needed you and you came through for me because you've been here to help me. And although I make a joke of it, when you talk to my mama every day, you're doing something that I can't handle doing. So that's why you need a partner in life because I'm not at my best and I got knocked on and I got a mother that's suicidal and stuff, but my partner's here right with me throughout everything. My mama's paperwork's getting filled out because you're there doing it. My mama's house is getting fixed up because you're doing the lead of that, even though you don't want to, even though you wish I did it. You're doing that for me. You see what I'm saying? You're right there with me, holding me up and being a true friend to me and being a true wife and a true ride or die in things. And you're helping to keep me afloat when I'm drowning. And I love you for that. And on top of that, I have to go to counseling also as a man, because instead of always just talking to you about how I feel about what's going on and all the pressures on me, once a week now, I offload it to a stranger. And you was begging me to do that for years. And now I do it. So the Lord is working. And in my toughest moment, even though I love to be the strongest guy in the world and I don't need nobody, I'm going to tell y'all from a real place, I needed my wife, I needed my family, and I needed counseling, and I needed Jesus. And all of these pieces together is the reason why I'm on this podcast chopping it up with y'all. So, Randy, I love you. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? And I know that we in this thing together. And I want to advise all y'all, doesn't mean you got to be married or anything like that, but don't live life something that's got the ups and downs that will knock you left, right, up, down, and think that you're supposed to ride that wave all by yourself. Because if you try to, you're going to burn out faster than anything. So I appreciate you, Randy. You know what I'm saying?
Look, you got me over here fighting tears. I'm like,
yeah, I see a little something in your eyes. I ain't gonna say nothing.
I love you,
but
baby.
I mean that, like, you're the when I'm drowning, you're in the boat with the bucket, pail water for me. You know what I'm saying? And when y'all going through things in your life, and that boat is sinking, if you're on that boat trying to get the water out of the boat all by yourself, your boat's getting drowned. You need somebody there. You need a community. You need people there that's gonna pick up a bucket, pick up a sponge, pick up whatever, and start emptying the water out of the boat so you don't drown. And I got that. I appreciate you. Anyway, until y'all hear us on the next episode, which will be our monumental 50th episode of the Dex and Randi Show. I'm your host, Dex. This is Randy. As y'all can see, we just keep it 10,000% real about the ups and downs of life, from everything from relationships, finances, family, sickness, health, day-to-day stuff, business. Like, you can learn so much from it. So if y'all enjoyed this episode, make sure you follow the Dex and Randi Show on Instagram. Make sure you follow the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, share the podcast. Help us grow our community, help us grow the impact that we're looking to have through our show. We love y'all. Till next time. Peace. Next time. Peace. Make sure you follow the Dex and Randi Show on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or on YouTube. Let us know what you're going through. This is the #1 show for going through the ups and downs of life. We want to hear from you, engage with you. Till next time. Peace.